Hi, I'm Rachel, and yesterday on September 1st, 2018, I went to the annual National Book Festival held by the Library of Congress in Washington, D.C. It takes place in a convention center downtown, and there's a lot of famous authors and speakers who come to flock to the many stages. We have the main stage with really famous people from Supreme Justice Sonia Sotomayor to Madeleine Albright to fiction writers like Amy Tan, and then there's a fiction stage and non-fiction stages and a teen stage and stages for the kids and activities for the kids downstairs and lots of signing going on too, and lots of people come. It's so much fun, and I took my camera to vlog the experience but something happened to the footage again, like with my August book haul, where the video was completely corrupted, or largely corrupted. In this case, there was a lot of static, and also the sound cut out of almost everything, which was mostly actually okay because I just have music overlaying my vlogging. But for the staticky picture, that's a bad thing. And also, I taped Meg Wolitzer and her panel, and most of that was completely unusable. But anyway, I was so frustrated, and I feel like such a Luddite. I have no idea what's going on. I keep thinking of things in terms of tape, because I've been, using this camera, and I've been filming dozens of hours of footage on it, and I've been erasing it as I go, and so forth, and I think of tape as in, the tape gets weary and worn out after a while. Worn out, I guess, is the right one. And then it stops working as well. And I don't know what's causing it here. Is it the SD card? And I did some late night research, in the middle of the night, and of course, I have no idea what's going on. And being a Luddite is not a good look for a millennial. I'm just really hoping that this works. I don't know. I wish I should go to my cousin in Kansas City. She works at a Genius bar, and she could roll her eyes at me and tell me what's wrong or something. But anyway, I'm making this video very long now as I complain about technical difficulties, because the actual footage part is only about 3.5 minutes long. I just show you bits and pieces of what's going on around the festival, and then I have a little bit of footage with Meg Wolitzer. There is a little bit of that staticky stuff, just a couple of seconds of that in there, because I had to have some sense of a narrative going on in that part, so I had to have some of the staticky part in there. But I really enjoyed it. I mean, other than the technical difficulties, the actual experience was really fun, so I thought I'd give you a look.
entertain their nap and the uncoupling and the interesting and more, but I want to talk, and we will talk about the female persuasion, but first, I want to talk about the wife.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
My cousins.
This came out 15 years ago, and now we're all talking about it again. That must be incredibly exciting.
Yes, I brought a sort of shall we tell. So this is the movie tie-in edition, which is very exciting. And I went and looked it up on Amazon. It's #1 in movie tie-in editions. Very proud.
Starring Glenn Close?
Starring Glenn Close and Jonathan Pryce. And so I wrote this novel, came out in 2003, and the wonderful screenwriter Jane Anderson got involved at some point not too long after that, and she had a lot of trouble getting it made. It was hard getting a male star who wanted to be a jerky guy, and it was the movie called The Wife. Not only that, so that was sort of difficult, but suddenly things got moved and Glenn Close got attached to it, and she's really, I have to say, she's really brilliant in it. She's wonderful in it. Please go, excellent.
She did then talk about the female persuasion and her books more specifically after that bit of promotion for The Wife, which I have yet to see in theaters. But anyway, the thing that was most cool for me, I guess, is that I egged myself up to go ask her a question in front of everyone. And I actually was going to ask her about how she uses comedy in her work, but she and Washington Post book editor Ron Charles were talking about it in their own conversation that I was like, drat, I can't ask her that now, I just wouldn't be paying attention. So I thought up something about some characters and in the female persuasion to ask, but and she didn't really answer me directly because as I think about it, it was way too spoilery of a question, but she talked a lot about how female friendships are of interest to her in her fiction, and I was gushing a little in my head because that's what I love about her fiction, one of the many things. So I'm glad I did it. You know, I'm in the middle of wrapping up my Wolitzer backlist stuff, so I'm in a big Meg Wolitzer mood, I guess, so it felt like opportune timing to ask her a question in the flesh. Anyway, you can see the actual official and entire Meg Wolitzer panel and all of the other panels from the National Book Fest within a few to several months. The Library of Congress did indeed, you know, film them all, but it usually takes them several months to put them up on the YouTube page. But I'll link their YouTube page down below, and you can watch panels from all the other years of the Book Fest. It's been going on for a whole lot of years now. And finally, to wrap up the video, I thought I'd show you my National Book Fest haul. Here's the official tote bag for the year with the library's new logo and everything. And inside we have my Politics and Prose bag, the official bookseller for the festival. It's a very large independent bookstore in the area. So first off, I got this book signed for my nephew. It's called Hello Ba Hello by Brendan Wenzel. And you can see he drew my nephew Owen a cat as well, so I'm so excited. Owen's 3 months old, and I was drawn to this story because there's just simple associations going on here between animals and what describes them, like colors and stripes and spots and so forth, and I could go on and on through here, and in the back it teaches all the names of the animals, and so I'm excited for him to learn about these simple aspects of animals. Next, I picked up this book for my 4-year-old niece, Grace, and admittedly, what drew me to it the most is that her name is in the title, which is something that she would certainly enjoy. The author is the New Yorker cartoonist Harry Bliss, and he signed it for her. And this is actually more of a graphic novel than a story with a lot of words in it, but it's about this girl, Grace, who raises money in very creative ways to buy her school guinea pig a companion. And the actual graphics are incredibly descriptive, and there's a lot of inside jokes about New York and about cultural things that adults might enjoy, but the story itself is really fun, and hopefully kids like Grace will get a kick out of it. Like, here is how she's raising money. She's playing violin for money in the subway, and then she does impressions, cartoonish impressions of people on the sidewalk. And finally, she does tricks on the subway car around the pole. You might be able to see some recognizable people in this picture. So yeah, I'm really hoping this catches her fancy. And finally, I got signed for myself Pachinko by Min Jin Lee, which only feels appropriate because I think I've been drooling over this book and the cover and the description ever since it came out a while back. And so when I heard that she would be at the book fest, I thought, well, this seems opportune. I've been wanting to read this, and it won the Reading Women Award, the podcast put on by Kendra Winchester, our fellow booktuber. And I also have Min Jin Lee's first book, Free Food for Millionaires, published 10 years ago. I won it from Literary Hub, so now I have both of them, and it's incentive to read them, of course. And Min Jin Lee was so nice. I actually wasn't able to make it to her panel. I tried to, but it was so, the line was so full that the volunteers told me, you probably won't get in. So I decided that I should get to her signing line early instead. And so I was waiting near the front with everyone else, and about 15 minutes before it was going to start, and before we even move over to the final part of the line, she shows up in front of us, and we're like, oh, hello! And she's like, I got here early. I figured I'll just start signing. So here we were in line, and she just came straight over to us, and here we go, my official National Book Fest 2018 signature. Huzzah! So she was so nice, and it's making me feel even more enthusiastic to read her works. So that about covers it for me. Knock on wood that there's no technological problems with this footage. I guess I'll see once I put it into the computer, but in the meantime, I hope you're all having a wonderful start to September and wonderful experiences with authors and reading and so forth. Thanks so much for watching, everyone, and I'll see you next time.